English 121, Analyzing Field Research Data, from the Allen and Bacon Guide, pages 191 to 226. Informative writing often uses visual texts to report results. The first type of visual text that your book talks about in reference to informative writing is the table. A table is like halfway between a picture and a list. It's just a way of representing information in a two-dimensional visual way. More advanced than a table is a line graph. A line graph tells a story more dramatically than a table because it makes the relationship between the two variables immediately visible. Always consider the relationship between the horizontal and the vertical axes. The horizontal axis contains the predictable known variable, or the x-axis. The vertical, or y-axis, on the other hand, contains the unpredictable variable. In addition to line graphs, your book talks about other ways of representing information visually, including pie charts, which depict different percentages of a total and tell the story of how the whole is divided into different sized parts, as well as bar graphs, which use columns of varying lengths to contrast two or more quantities. The key to clarity in any graph is the wording of the title, the labels on the horizontal and vertical axes, and the legend if one is included. When constructing visual text this way to provide information for your informative writing, be sure that you do not report raw data. You want to create composite results by tabulating totals or calculating averages and percentages and reporting these results in words and graphics. Try to report your data in such a way that readers can quickly see whether the data do or do not support your hypothesis, and create a scientific ethos that is objective and unbiased. In newspapers and popular magazines, writers often include data in graphics without specifically citing them in text. However, in academic writing, on the other hand, graphics are always labeled, numbered, and cited and referred to in the text. There are several conventions that you should follow when citing your data in text visually in your informative writing. By convention, tables are listed as tables, while graphs, charts, or other kinds of drawings or photographs are labeled as figures. Each graphic needs a title that explains the information displayed, and remember the rule of independent redundancy, which states that the graphic should be understandable without the text should be understandable without the graphic, and the text and the graphic should agree. When reporting your results, the text of most reports is made up into 4 conventional features. This type of reported information is considered empirical, which means it's information that comes from investigations based on direct observation of events or phenomena or on systematically gathered statistical data. Reporting information this way typically begins with an identification of significant patterns and speculations about their causes. Then there is some discussion of the implications and significance of the results, the limitations of the study, and the suggestions for future research. Finally, when gathering data, be sure to follow guidelines to uphold ethical standards. Always obtain informed consent from the subjects of the study, explain that participation is voluntary, that questionnaires are anonymous, and always remember to obtain consent from parents or guardians when using minor participants as your subjects. Keep this information and these strategies in mind as you analyze field research data for your informative writing.